So this class is going to be the Ultralux Mastering Skincare Ingredients, okay? Let's see, everyone have one of these little note-taking papers. And it's got a list of some of the different Ultralux products that I'm going to go over, and then there's some others that maybe are not on this that I'm going to go over as well. So you can take notes either on this paper or on anything that you've been given, okay? You're going to find a lot of the ingredients and products that I'm talking about in your little book. And as I go along, I'll try to tell you which page so you can look to see, and that way you can ask questions too, okay?
Excuse me one second. If there's
Yes.
anything, you guys are probably starving. You came from school, you came from work, you came from whatever.
Just
There's-
get up and take.
Yeah, there's
Absolutely.
little sandwiches here,
Yes.
there's fruit,
Thank you.
there's chips, there's popcorn.
What are you laughing about?
There's iced tea, so
You guys are so
She
funny.
always feeding us.
Always, so they also always have some kind of
healthier
for you.
Vegan.
Take it, otherwise they just take it home, so eat it.
we just eat it as soon as they leave, so please
That's
take
it?
it. Please eat. Eat. And feel free to
Thank you so
come and
much,
take.
thank you.
And Sherry, because you've used some of our products, I hope you don't mind if I, kind of
No,
ask you to
it's
chime in here and there on some of your
No.
thoughts on some of the
Yeah.
ingredients, okay? If you don't know,
And I
just
have
say.
a question.
Absolutely, okay? So let's start, I think, with this, the Mastering Skincare Ingredient paper. If you're gonna have notes, you have your pen? Okay. The first thing I'm gonna go over a little bit is some of the ingredients in the peels. That you will not find in this booklet, okay?
Yeah.
So we can't look it up, it's not in this booklet. It will be later on when you open an account in your aesthetic manual. So Ultralux does give an aesthetic manual when you open an account. Not only does it have the protocol for facials, but it has different ingredients. A lot of companies don't offer anything like that. And you're fumbling trying to figure out what is the protocol or what are the ingredients. They have everything in books for you. Tea peels come in 6 different levels. And the active ingredient in the green tea peels is, number 1, green tea. And what does green tea do? It accelerates healing. Tell me if I'm going too fast too. Tell me to slow down, okay? It calms irritation. It has vitamins like B and E and antioxidants. So because the green tea calms irritation, it allows the skin to better receive the peel, and it allows you to be able to go up in the levels with less irritation than if it were just an acid alone, okay? So again, the green tea is added to kind of heal and calm the skin, okay?
There's levels 1 through 6, and they accelerate, like 1 is 7.5%, 2 is 14, and I think it goes up to 37.5.
And with each percentage higher, drops your pH slightly. We all know the pH is everything to do with the peel and how far it goes into the epidermis or the dermis, right? So with the green tea peel, you can actually mix and match. Let's say you don't own all 6, but you own a 2 and a 4. You can mix them together and make a 3. Okay? You can mix even a 1 and a 5, so you come up with more like a 3 or a 4. So these you can make combinations with. The other peels we have don't come in those different levels. So the green tea peel is nice to have because you have different levels you can kind of customize. The major acid in the green tea peel is the lactic. The lactic is a larger molecule. So a lactic peel does not descend as deeply as something like a glycolic, okay? Because the molecule is larger, it cannot get past the epidermis very well. So this is more of a superficial peel. But that also means that you can use it on people of all different skin types, right? It can be somebody with acne. It can be an older skin type. It can be a more sensitive skin, starting with maybe like a number 1 or number 2. First, because you have that ingredient green tea to calm it, and the other because you're using lactic, which is more of a hydrating exfoliation. Lactic is in milk, which is what Cleopatra used to bathe herself. Why did she have beautiful skin? Because of the lactic in the milk, okay? So that's a great peel to start with. It's also a great peel to build with,
I
yes.
have a
sure,
question,
yes.
can we use this green tea peel on the macro needling?
What do you mean on the microneedling?
Because when I do macro needling, I just do like hyaluronic acid, I use retinol, and then the end, I just put the peel, like.
You're putting the peel after the microneedling?
Mhm.
Right, so you cannot microneedle in the peel,
Okay.
okay, but you can do, your peel and
But for
then,
pigmentation, I'm just gonna.
but what's gonna end up happening is if you try to microneedle in the peel, it's gonna go too deep and you can't control it,
Okay,
right? Because you're
After
taking the
that-
needle and you're forcing it even deeper into the epidermis or possibly even the dermis, depending on how far you're going with your
Right.
microneedle. So you can do your peel at the same time, but separate. You can microneedle in your hyaluronic acid or your C serum or your
Right.
stem cells, but you don't wanna needle in the peel.
but when I finish, they absorb, I can put the peel in the top?
If you put the peel after the microneedle, it's gonna be a lot harder to control.
Because
Because,
they already know,
yes,
right?
right, but the problem is you can't control the depth of the peel the same. If you do your peel maybe first and then your microneedle, you could. But if you do your microneedle first and you have all these open wounds or channels, what's to say that the peel isn't going too deep in there?
It's not better
for
for
you.
pigmentation?
I would probably use maybe like the peel first and then your microneedle. Only because the controlling of the peel after the skin is open like that from the microneedle is very difficult.
Right.
Right, so you can do your peel, or your glycolic peel, or any of these peels, and then your microneedle, if you are comfortable doing something like
I
that.
do glycolic peel after, but I just have a question, maybe I can do green tea peel or no?
If you're gonna do green tea peel after on somebody that you've already done the glycolic peel and you're comfortable that their skin can handle it, I wouldn't go to like a level 6. I would start with my lower levels
I have
first.
3-1,
Right,
level 3, I
okay,
can do it?
yeah, and not for your most delicate skin.
Right.
Is this the person you're already doing the glycolic on?
No, it's the first time.
You've never done it before.
No.
So again, that's why I really suggest that the peel go first and neutralized, and then the microneedle.
Okay.
How do you,
Rather than,
oh, sorry.
that's okay, rather than the microneedle and then the peel. Because of control of the acids is not there the same once you've opened up all those
Right.
channels.
The glycolic acid is just like better, you can control it better, right?
Well, I mean, it's not, neither one is gonna be controlled as they should be or they're meant to be when you start opening up needle channels in the skin.
Mhm.
You know, it's gonna go much deeper and much further, and that can lead to more irritation, which is not
Right.
what you're looking for,
Right.
right? You don't want the irritation. You want the exfoliation, but you don't want the irritation.
But after I extract the skin, I can put the peel
Normally, you would
And
do
then-
your peel and then your extractions,
and then numb it, right?
right? Okay, because why would we do the lactic peel or the green tea peel and then extractions? If you switched it the other way, because
have
of the
open
extractions, you have open wounds, and again, the burning is possible. And the sensitivity, and you cannot control it as well.
Right, okay, thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Somebody
Making
else?
a extraction.
How much pressure do you apply when you're applying with the peel? Or is it
So
a
with
light
peels,
hand or-
whether you use the green tea peel or the pro peel, you'll see a few different peels that we have, the pressure is light. It's not about the pressure, right? You can use a small swab or a thicker, have you seen those larger cotton swabs? And there's no pressure to be put, just lightly over the skin. And you'll be able to see where you're going. You'll be able to see the product on the skin. So you don't need to press hard. Okay, with any of these Ultralux peels, whether it's the green tea or the 30% glycolic, you don't need to press hard on the skin. You're gonna get a great result without the irritation of pressing down on the skin. And what happens if you press too hard on the skin? You're gonna get some
Penetrating.
erythema or redness, and now can you tell if the redness is because the peel is descended and it's at its limit, or because you've irritated the skin with the pressure you've put on?
Correct.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Right.
But the maximum is gonna be 3 minutes, right?
For which one?
For number 3.
Technically, the maximum is like 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
If you have a client that you've done like the green tea peels on before and you feel comfortable and their skin isn't getting real irritated, red or
Yeah, I just
itchy,
look at the skin, it's fine,
exactly,
yeah.
you can go a little bit longer, Right,
For what peel was that?
for the green teas.
The green teas?
So
Right.
3 to 5 minutes.
Five
is it?
minutes.
It's about the
All of
average,
them.
right. When you're first starting with any of these peels, we usually start at about 1 minute. Whether it's the green tea, or you'll see in this list, the hydrating pro peel or the glycolic peel. If it's an older fragile skin, if it's a rosacea skin, let's start around 1 minute, okay? Because we need to control the results. If we go too far, now we're left with a problem.
Okay.
Okay, now we have a problem of possible burn, possible irritation, and then maybe the client isn't gonna wanna return every month because they feel like, oh no, it irritated my skin. When in fact it didn't, you left it too long for the first time,
Right.
right? So working up is better. If they say, I don't see any results, okay, these are cumulative, right? As we do the peels every month together with your Ultralux facials, you will get the results you're looking for, but we build up to that so that we don't irritate the skin. Does that make sense? Okay, so let me see what else. I have some other notes I wanna talk about here. Okay, so again, with the lactic, that's the larger molecule, and it tends to remove the dead skin layer on the epidermis, the outermost. So an older skin, a fragile skin, perfect, okay?
It's for like fine lines and hyperpigmentation.
So fine lines, yes. Hyperpigmentation, we have some better choices even, okay? Next is like the Hydrating Pro Peel. The Hydrating Pro Peel is also a lactic acid-based peel, but it doesn't have different levels. This is wonderful for a first-time peel, for somebody with drier skin, right? So just because we have dry skin doesn't mean that we don't want to rejuvenate or get that skin cell turnover. So with the Hydrating Pro Peel, this is a great one to put into, and would be the safest for like her microneedling, or into a facial. The Hydrating Pro Peel is a gentler peel, very good for first-time clients, very good for an older skin or a dry skin. Maybe not your first choice for an oily or acneic skin, where you would go to more like the green tea 5 or 6. Does that make sense?
For what type of skin is that?
This is, the Hydrating Pro Peel is for like an older skin,
Oh, okay.
a dry skin,
Dry skin.
a first-time skin. Why? Because the lactic pulls moisture to it. Okay, so they're not gonna end up as dry as they could with something like the glycolic. The glycolic peel at a 30%, this is like our gold standard alpha hydroxy acid peels. Glycolic sends that little message to your keratinocytes, those are the guys that make your skin cells, to renew and make new. It says, oh, we're down a layer, we need to make a layer. So as the glycolic or any of these peels take off a dead skin layer, they're usually kind of buried, the new skin cells, under the dead skin layer. Once we can remove that coat of armor with our peels, we start to make new skin cells, and with each month, those new skin cells make their way to the surface, and eventually we have the nice, bright, glowing, less fine lines, wrinkles, less pigmentation. Our products work better with something like a glycolic peel. Glycolic peel at like a 30% is wonderful to do every month, and slowly building up your time. It's normal if they get a little bit of redness or itching, that's normal. The Ultralux peels are made to neutralize with water, but you can also use a little neutralizer that you have, or the good old-fashioned baking soda, to help neutralize the Ultralux peels, just in case, okay? But they are made to neutralize with water.
You guys don't have like a specific neutralizer you guys have?
Because you don't need a specific neutralizer, you could simply use water, you know? They are buffered peels, meaning that if you left them on longer, at some point they will stop. They will not descend to the dermis and burn to the bone. They are partially neutralized as it is, that's why you're able to neutralize them with water. But if you add a little baking soda, that helps it bring up the pH a little bit faster. Especially if you're nervous or the client is irritated or acting, you know, the type A personality, they get a little nervous. Don't forget with the peels to also use a little fan. Makes a world of difference, that little fan. Without it, you really feel the tingle. Have any of you had peels before? So it's very normal.
Light peel.
A light peel, you know, to feel a little bit of a tingly, or some of them,
Right.
if it has an ingredient like salicylic acid in it, it's gonna be what we would call more like a pot peel or red peel, so you get a little bit more redness or flushing. People get nervous, right? And then they kind of jump around and move around. Well, that makes the peel descend even further. So we wanna keep them as calm as we can, so that we can do our job and leave it on, you know, what's appropriate for their skin. So a little fan calms them down, because it brings a little cool breeze and they don't feel it as much. I have clients even holding it this close, that's fine.
Yeah, there's some, I was looking into that, those little fans that you put around the neck.
Why, now, okay, but why do you think you couldn't put it around the neck?
No, what do you mean, what do you
The reason you couldn't, that's a great fan, but why couldn't you use a neck fan? Because you're gonna be applying usually your peels to the décolleté and neck. So you can't have the fan touch where you put the peel. If
Right,
they
right.
held it, no problem.
Right, okay.
It just can't, you don't, make sure you take off all jewelry too,
Okay.
and all clothing, because the peels can discolor the clothing, right? So whether you're using a gown or a robe, so everything off here. But having a fan is great.
And
Right.
Christine, you always do 3 passes, right?
So if you're going to neutralize with water, it's 3 passes, and baking soda, it's 2 to 3. Can you do more passes? Yes. There's no harm
But I
in
always do
taking
like
your
3.
time and saying, you know, do you still feel a sting? Do you still feel anything? Yes, I do, and you can continue. And when you do your neutralization for these peels, don't rub hard, okay? Use a little bit of cotton in your little water bowl or your water bowl with baking soda and gently go over it, because we don't wanna cause any irritation. Does that make sense? Any questions yet on that?
What about if some people have pigmentation, we just do like the peel? What is gonna be the home care they can continue it?
So you're gonna do the peel, but then you need to use something maybe like, we have a retinol, okay? Let me see what page that is on, let me show you. You can suggest the retinol renewal at home.
This retinol, they can use it daily or?
They
it's
can,
too
so,
strong?
because our retinol is a 1%, you wanna start off with most retinols with the rule, once a week for 1 week, twice a week, second week, 3 times a week, third week. This is going to help build the tolerance for the retinol. Where if people put it on from day 1, every day, it can be irritating, even for the most resilient or thicker oily skin. And then they might say, oh, no, this isn't for me. But if you do the slow build, you give their skin time to acclimate, they'll do much better. So, you know, that's it. But we also have other products for the pigmentation. Let me show you something. There's even, I'll show you. In page 23, in yours, you even have a mask, Sherry, that helps that they can do at home, which is the green tea mask,
Okay.
okay? That can help. It's an acid-free exfoliation, so that can help with some of the pigment without being an acid. And it grows great with the enzyme peeling cream, so they can be doing a couple of these things at home, not over exfoliation.
This is for
Green
at
tea
home?
and what?
Right, 23.
Which one?
Both of them, or?
Yeah, you see how you have their green tea mask
Mhm.
on page 23? That can help.
Green tea mask?
Right.
Okay.
So it has some exfoliation in it, but it's an acid-free exfoliation, so that helps.
But they can use it once a week?
Yes, that's fine. You just
I
gotta
have-
make sure. Go
I have
ahead.
to interject.
Go ahead.
The enzyme peeling cream, you guys. It's like one of my very favorite products. And the reason being is you could use it 3 times a week. It's pure pumpkin enzymes. And Christine,
Yes.
we'll pass it at some point so you could try it. Put it on the back of your hand. You let
Yes.
it dry for like 3 minutes and then you exfoliate it off. And it's amazing how
Yes.
much dry skin just comes right off.
Sherry, the other product, you
It's
see
like my
that
favorite.
complexion corrector? On page 23, do you see that product there?
Yes.
It has the licorice and it has the kojic acid, and this is known to lighten pigment as well. Okay?
How many times a week?
So if they're gonna use the retinol renewal in the evening, right, they can use this during the day, but with sunscreen,
Okay, before, after the,
before sunscreen,
okay.
okay? But again, when we're using that also in conjunction with the retinol, go slow. Don't suggest everything first
Does this
day,
work like a
first start.
moisturizer?
No, it's not really a moisturizer. It has the licorice, it has the green tea, so it helps to calm the skin, but it also helps with the exfoliation, but it doesn't leave flakiness and it helps with the pigment.
Right.
So that's a good at-home for those with
What
Like
about
wet.
after
vitamin C
wash,
line?
toner, they should put moisturizer on this one, or they not need
Oh,
moisturizer?
you're asking for the order, their cleanser, their toner, and it depends on what you have them set up with, right? If you have any other thinner serums, but you could put, definitely you go cleanser, toner, this, and then their sun, moisturizer and sunscreen, right?
Especially not to scratch.
There's vitamin C also helps with pigmentation, okay,
But
guys?
for vitamin C, people, they just get like the whiteheads mostly around the eye.
You're saying that your clients are getting whiteheads from it around the
Mhm.
eye? Which was there a certain product?
Vitamin C
But was,
serum.
The serum?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. How close to the eye are they putting the serum? Because it shouldn't be where we would apply an eye cream. The
Yeah.
serum should
It
not
should-
be in the
Nothing
orbital
should
area.
go anything around
And
the eye,
vitamin
only
C.
eye cream.
Right.
Yeah, vitamin C eye cream also
Yeah.
make it too.
It's
If you use
interesting.
it every day.
They said if you put too thick of a layer, it will
Mhm.
cause.
It'll penetrate into
So it has
into
to be
the
very
eyelid
small
as
amount.
well.
Right, so you have to
Right.
put a thin layer of eye
Yeah.
cream.
If I put too
There
much.
are some people that are sensitive to vitamin C.
Right.
There are,
Mhm.
okay? Because it is like a citric acid. So for some people, maybe if they have sensitive skin before you use the vitamin C line, you could even do a little patch test somewhere and see
Mhm.
if it's causing them any kind of irritation. Because the vitamin C line, what does it do? It produces collagen. It aids in wound healing. It reduces pigment. Okay, this is the vitamin C line. You're gonna find that we might jump around a little bit as we talk. You can kind of find some of these on here and put notes there. See where it says vitamin C? And over there, we just wrote down the vitamin C serum and the vitamin C mask.
If you look at your price list, everything's divided in categories. And the vitamin C section on your price list will show you each item that we have in the vitamin C line, even though it's not on the sheet that we
Oh,
passed out
okay.
tonight, but if you look.
And
either
you'll
in your-
also see in the booklet that
Right.
everything goes by skin type. Look at the colors at the top. That helps. Just like when she made this for you, if it says firming or vitamin C, you will find it according to the color at the top, like the orange is the vitamin C. Okay, that helps. The firming collection is the purple. Okay,
So like right here currently with the change of weather, and I also got a new baby cat, and I'm allergic to cats, but I wanted a cat. So I started like breaking out really badly.
is the cat licking your face?
Yes, he'll sometimes lick my face, and that's
Yep.
what it's kind of like started causing it.
It's
and-
from his saliva.
Correct,
That's right.
correct, yes.
Yeah.
And so, with the change of season, I think too, I started here like kind of
Drying.
drying and like peeling a bit.
Yes.
And usually too, when I kind of when I moved out here, it was from like Palm Springs areas. When I moved over here, I started breaking out in hives, maybe because of the change of climate and stuff like
It
that.
could be many things,
It's many
right?
things, correct. So
Right.
It started in my legs, and then it moved to my arms,
Interesting.
and then it finally got to my face, and I started
Mm.
like breaking out super bad. Like I got really red and really swollen.
Oh,
And in those areas where the patches would be red, it would get super, super dry.
yeah.
And my teacher was telling me like maybe your skin is also like when your skin gets inflamed, your skin is stretching out, and it's like making it kind of what did she say? She just makes it it's irritating, you know, and that.
When you have an irritation like that and it gets super red and super dry, definitely you don't want to use vitamin C,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
You'd want to use things like from the sensitive line. As a matter of fact, we have a particular product
Yeah,
that
okay,
I want to
awesome.
talk about for something like
Awesome.
that, okay? First, try not to let the cat lick your face.
No, yeah, he's a little baby.
Right.
So he'll like
Oh.
he'll come and sleep with me, or like he'll try to wake me up, and he doesn't like
No, he doesn't know.
he's not used to sleeping alone in his bed, so he'll come
Right.
and lay down with me, and he just like
Cute.
I'll show you
So
guys a picture.
what did that
Thank
do to her skin? It compromised her barrier. Now that her barrier is compromised, she's gonna get reaction and inflammation to things she normally wouldn't. Oh. Oh my God.
Oh.
Because of the
I
saliva
cannot let
on
her
her
go.
face, right?
I
So
think he's
any
like 8 weeks.
Any product she
Super
normally
small.
used, she can't right now in those areas because the barrier is compromised.
Correct.
So what do, right? We need to heal that barrier before we can get back to any active ingredients, and certainly no peels for
Mhm.
now. A great one for something like this is the recovery. If you look on your sheet, it says under sensitive, recovery.
Right now.
Do you see that? It's on your sheet here,
Okay.
okay? It's called recovery, but you do have it in your book, and I'll slow down so you can find it in the book too, okay?
It's on sensitive.
Under sensitive.
Yes, sensitive, which is yellow. See how we have more color coded there? And recovery is on page 26 in your pamphlet, okay?
Alright.
So what is special or the ingredients about recovery? It's aloe, number one. Okay, so if somebody's allergic to aloe, of course you wouldn't go to that, but most people find it very soothing. It has the chamomile. What does chamomile do? Less irritation, less inflammation, hydration, and this helps
Makes it
after
sleep.
peels. This helps after microneedling, after a barrier problem like this, okay? You would use something like the recovery. It has a patented CIS technology, which is something that stops the collagen breakdown, which is kind of cool. So it stops the collagen breakdown that can happen from the inflammation of different types of lasers or too aggressive peels or irritation. So it stops the premature collagen breakdown and it helps to heal the skin. That's when you would use something like recovery. First time using it, you can feel a little bit of a sting. That's because you're already irritated or the barrier is already compromised. But as you continue to use it, that'll go away.
When do you
Okay.
use it?
You can use it after a peel at home if you find you're irritated. You can use it after microneedling at home to speed up the healing process.
Could you use it every day if you have
If
irritation?
you're a person that's irritated or has rosacea, absolutely,
Okay.
you know? Absolutely, okay?
I use
That'd
it
be
after
good for
mass.
me.
You can use it
And
after
it's
mass
like a
just to
moisturizer?
calm everything down. It's not a moisturizer,
What is it?
right? It's a
cream.
treatment.
And it's very
To
absorbing
calm.
so fast.
Yes, and it's thin. Let's get one of those. You have recovery? You're gonna see this product is pretty unique to Ultralux because it's, you want that on your back bar to grab if somebody's irritated or you wanna send them home with something like that, if you've done a more aggressive treatment. It's nice to have, right? They'll have the bottle a long time. If they have rosacea or real red irritated skin, then they will be able to use it more often. But I know that we have it here and you'll see it's a thinner type, not a real thick consistency. So they can use their other products as well. Any luck? Well, she'll bring it, I guess, when she finds it, okay? And then we'll go back to it. Okay, love. The last one on the peel section is called enzyme peeling cream. Joyce, if you have the enzyme peeling cream, bring it up, okay? Did you happen to see that, the
It's
enzyme
my
peeling
favorite
cream?
too.
Why do you love it, Sherry?
It just, after you just do it, the skin is gonna be shiny, it looks like it remove all the skin. Yeah,
And the enzyme peeling cream, have any of you touched that before?
yes.
Okay, what'd you think?
I like it.
It's great because it has pumpkin and cardamom. Cardamom is like an antiseptic, cardamom is a hydrator, pumpkin is an enzyme exfoliator. So it's pretty well tolerated by people maybe that can't tolerate other acids. And it can be used two different ways because it's an enzyme. You can put it on the skin with steam, kind of softens up the sebum, gets it ready for extractions. You don't have to use necessarily an extraction fluid or a disincrustation fluid. If you use the enzyme peeling cream under steam, you can do that. You can also put it on and do the gommage technique. So the gommage technique, you're not gonna use it for somebody that has a rosacea or a lot of open pustules, right? Because what is the gommage technique? That's where we let it dry and then we are kind of massaging in circular motions until it kind of flakes off of the skin. So you have a couple different ways that you can use the enzyme peeling cream. It can be a prep before your other peels, if the skin can handle it, or it can be a standalone enzyme. It can also be used at home. They'll love it at home.
Some people, they have wrinkles, so much wrinkle, you cannot like go much.
No,
Yeah.
if you cannot go maja and you're trying, you could add a little bit of an oil to your hands with it or some water
Okay.
because you see how it gets dry, and if they're really dry and dehydrated and have a lot of wrinkles, like she says, she can't move it around because the skin's already lost its elasticity, so you're moving and the skin is moving with you, right?
Right.
So I tend to hold a little bit firmer in that area with two hands and go like this, or I mix a little bit of water or anything else from my back bar, even a little bit of my omega, because they're so dry and dehydrated, and do my gommage technique.
Okay.
If I try to do it dry like that on an older, drier, loss of elasticity and collagen skin, I'm just gonna irritate them and just move the skin around, and I'm not gonna be able to gommage it off. And if all else fails, put a little steam, or just remove it with a warm washcloth, okay? What does Joyce have?
Let's stop for 1 minute, here's the
Sure.
recovery.
Okay, so let's back up, that's the recovery. And that is fabulous stuff for after any kind of more invasive procedure or an irritated
test it
skin,
on-
just to
Or
calm it
wax or
down.
something, we can use it?
After what?
The waxing?
Yes, but I have something better, you know?
I know, I have it, yeah.
Do you have the ingrown hair?
Mhm.
What do you think?
That's perfect.
Yes,
Smells good.
Perfect,
and make it
because-
calm, soothe.
and we'll talk about that product, okay? Because that's good stuff. You did? What is everybody's thoughts? What do you think?
Soothing.
For you, yes, right? You're like, oh.
No, yeah,
Right?
because it was feeling so super dry right now.
And again, it can be a little tingly first go around, but it won't stay like that.
Want to take a little more?
Light, right? Has the chamomile in it, has the aloe in it, so it's super soothing.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Sherry, you don't need to touch it, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
Okay.
here's the enzyme.
Okay,
Should we, wait, or do you wanna do it now?
you can do it, so
Okay,
we don't lose focus and
The
forget it.
enzyme peeling cream, you just wanna put a little bit on your hands, a thin layer like you're putting on a mask, but thin. You let it dry for 3 minutes, and then I want you to gommage it off. Okay, and if you're wearing dark pants, do not do it over your pants, because you will see flakes everywhere. Only do it on one hand, because I want you to compare it to the other hand when you're done.
The warning is if you put it too thick, it'll never dry.
Yeah.
Okay,
just
so
a
when you're
little
using
bit
that on a client,
on
it's
the
great,
back of your
super
hand.
thin. So you see, the professional size
But
should
I
last
just
you
have a
anything.
problem with cleaning.
Tell
When you
me.
remove it, it's just going to the neck and it's gonna stick in the lashes, it just.
So when you're removing it, you can put an extra towel on the bed behind if you know you're gonna use that. And you're using are you talking about when you gommage it off? Then go over it with a warm washcloth to really get it off.
Right.
And then I usually pick up the head and move that towel and either have something underneath ready. Because it's
Right.
very normal for it to get
I
everywhere.
know, if you wanna do like,
Make sure you let
neck
it dry
massage.
completely.
they're already there, so,
So make sure that you get it off with the gommage and then like a warm washcloth, gentle. And then if it's all over the place, you can move that towel or that linen from underneath them, because they don't wanna feel that.
Right.
And you don't wanna feel that if you're gonna do a massage. So it's super important, or sponges, but gentle, that you get it all off. That's why thin is best, otherwise it's very, very difficult to get off. We'll let you guys try, did anybody put it on their hand?
yeah.
And you can smell the cardamom and pumpkin in there, right? So it's a great enzyme. Enzymes can be used far more often than acids.
You can use it at least 3 times a week, which
Right.
is really nice, and every time you use it, you will see results. You can use it on the back of your hands,
Right.
you can even use it on your décolleté area,
So don't forget,
and your face.
when you do a peel, you can also incorporate and charge for the enzyme peeling cream and a peel on the hands. That's an add-on. Lots of people are asking me right now, do you have a peel for my hands? Lots, because summer's coming.
And we're so dry right now.
And you can see, actually, I have an add-on, which I'll do an enzyme peeling cream, and I'll be able to put your peel on the back of the hands. And of course, you don't have to watch that as carefully as you do the face, okay? But it does help.
Which peel you use that for the hand?
I would use, depending on what I'm putting on their face, like if you have all the green tea peels, you can definitely go up a couple strengths for the hands, okay? If you're using like a 2 or 3, but it's okay to use a stronger one on the back of the hands. And what about also the 30% glycolic peeling gel
Out the door
Yeah, I
to
do
the left.
that.
on the back of the hands, right?
Yeah.
Each time that they get their peel as an add-on, but make sure you put sunscreen. And that you remind them, now that we're removing that dead keratin, that surface layer, you have to use sunscreen now on the back of your hands, which is a great add-on sale for you. They have to use sunscreen if you're gonna be doing on a regular basis the peeling on the back of the hands,
Right,
okay?
and like the hand moisturizer, you have it, they have SPF on it.
So the hand moisturizer you can use has SPF in
Yeah,
it,
I love it.
right? So that's a great add-on of product for you. to use, to put a peel on the back of the hands,
Mhm.
making sure they know they have to use sunscreen. Now you can add the sunscreen
Sunscreen.
onto it as well, okay?
So
Or
you
there's
can
a,
do peel
there's a
for the
hand
hands.
cream.
And people forget to use sunscreen, like on the back of their hands.
Right,
My left arm is darker than my right one
Most of
because
us.
the sun hits it. Okay,
Yep.
you forget driving, you know, you just completely forget.
Right.
So it's important to take care of your hands. There's so many areas that we just forget. We
right,
don't see our backs, right?
right.
Unless it's summertime and we're in a swimsuit. That's another great way to make extra is the back peel.
You know, I put my the face moisturizer on my hands. I put my serum on my hands. So I treat with the Ultralux everything here to here and here. This is where we show our age. So advise your clients to also use their home care on their hands and their neck and décolleté. Okay, don't cut anything off at the face. Okay. Okay. Here we go. So let's talk a little bit about the Microvenom face and body. Has anybody touched that product at all? Joyce, it's right there, I see it, it's front and center. So
Front center.
this is a chemical sunscreen. Chemical, what does that mean? That means the skin needs to absorb it for about 20 minutes and reflect the rays back out, rather than a physical sunscreen, which blocks automatically, like a zinc, okay? But the chemical sunscreens are nice because, why? No white residue on the face. They tend to be more hydrating than the physical sunscreen. So Joyce will pass around the sunscreen, and you'll get to put it on your hands. It's incredible. It's an SPF 30. It has lavender oil, so that's there for the calming and hydration. It also has the apple stem cells. What are apple stem cells? That's from a particular apple that Ultralux has sourced that ages slower than the other apples we find. So if the apple stem cells cause that apple to age slower, why not put it in our skincare so that we can age slower? Okay, it has that. It also has the microvenom technology. That is a synthetic snake venom technology that acts as a messenger to slow down the muscle contractions. So it's sort of like a Botox in a bottle. It acts as a messenger to slow down the muscle contractions. So in our sunscreen, not only does it have microvenom for anti-aging, it has the stem cells along with lavender and tangerine for the glow. So it gives a nice glow without feeling oily or greasy. And it's fine for an acneic skin as well. Okay, Joyce
And I
will pass it.
promise you, anyone who tries this absolutely loves it. I mean, I promise that. Sherry, do your clients?
Yeah, they just come and pick up the SPF. They said, oh, I need this
It,
SPF.
it's incredible. It really, really is. You'll see it just goes on really smoothly.
Do you prefer mineral or?
Doesn't leave white
Maybe not.
streaks at all.
You know, it depends on the skin. I don't necessarily prefer mineral over chemical. It depends on what I'm looking at and what kind of skin I'm dealing with. Mineral only is great on, we have mineral sunscreens too, for an acneic skin, an oilier skin. But this type of chemical anti-aging sunscreen feels like your moisturizer. So people tend to be
You did
more
a pop,
willing to put
just
that
unscrew the
on.
top and put a
What do you
drop on.
find, Sherry?
Oh,
Yeah, and then
Oh,
the
here,
other
let me
one,
see.
not the chemical one,
The
the
minerals.
zinc,
Yeah,
is good for around the eyes.
right, so it's not as irritating around the eyes.
But I have a sensitive skin. This one, when I
Put a
use
drop
it,
on your
I'm going to
hand
the beach,
and
I'm
rub
not
it
gonna
in
bear
so
it.
you can see what it
No
feels
problem.
This is
right?
good, yeah, for
You can take the whole
sensitive
thing
skin.
out.
Isn't that
Yeah.
nice? So like Sherry's saying, even for the sensitive skin, no problem. No
oh,
problem.
okay. Okay.
Men love it. Why?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's no white cast, even on your darker Fitzpatrick or your darker skin, no white cast, which is kinda nice. When you go to your physical block, you tend to see a little bit more of a white cast to the skin.
Which is men, they don't like it.
No. Or some of us ladies, right? We don't like it. But I even use this on the kids, no problem.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and they like it because it doesn't feel like sunscreen, doesn't feel, you're not spraying them down, it doesn't run in their eyes and you don't get that greasy feeling. That's why a lot of clients don't like sunscreen on their face, not because they don't like sunscreen, because they don't like the feel of it.
Yeah.
So if you can give them something that feels like their moisturizer or feels like nothing, then they're more willing to accept it. And this comes in a travel size and tubes, which is great. That's the back bar size that you're looking at.
This is back bar, the regular
Right.
retail comes in a tube, and then we have it,
Right.
which is a 4-ounce size, and then we have a 2-ounce travel size.
Right,
And another key is men. Lots of men, it's changing a little bit now, but lots of men say, I'm not gonna put moisturizer on, I'm not gonna do this,
right.
this acts as a moisturizer as well. As you could feel it, as you could see how it's
Yeah.
nice and creamy,
And,
and
my Estes with acne, it's fine.
Mm.
Absolutely, that's a big deal.
And it doesn't leave, you said it doesn't leave a white cast?
No, do you see some kind of weird white cast on the
No,
skin?
not
You
at all.
shouldn't.
No, no, no.
And you know what, a little tip, it's great if you're wearing makeup, it's fine, the makeup doesn't ball up,
Oh,
okay?
That's good.
That's really
Because a
good.
lot of women wanna wear
How
makeup or.
often do you, I'm sorry,
That's good.
how often do you reapply? the
So
sunscreen?
remember, it's a great question, with sunscreen, whether it's an SPF 10, 50, 100, the point is that if you're outside, you have to reapply every 2 to 3 hours or you lose the potency. If you're putting it on in the morning and you're spending most of your day inside, then you run to the market, that's no big deal. But if you're out, you're at a festival, for sure, if you're at the beach, right? But if you're out running around all day, to have that maximum coverage, you need to reapply it every couple hours.
Okay.
So they can either buy a larger bottle and put it in something, or one of the travel sizes and keep it in their purse or their bag, right? But you have to do that. Those that use the chemical peels, you want them to reapply, because eventually you have just fresh, live, healthy cells on the surface, they can actually burn easier, it's like baby skin. Those with acne, you wanna reapply the sunscreen because of the post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, which is the red marks left behind from the acne. Whether you pick or not, the inflammation causes the redness. If it has exposure to sun, it takes so much longer to fade. By keeping a sunscreen on, that pigment will fade faster. Okay, does that make sense? Any questions on that?
any questions on anything
Anything
so
that I've
far?
gone so far, just stop me. How you feeling?
Good.
Okay,
I was touching the serum and it felt really soothing.
what, it does?
It does,
Yeah,
yeah.
Recovery?
it does.
Yeah.
And I think she's gonna give you a sample, did they get a recovery?
Yes.
Okay, good, so you'll
Oh,
use that.
no, a recovery, no, they got the, not a
No,
recovery.
no recovery, because that's a good product for what's going on with
Yeah.
you, you know? Okay, I'm gonna go on. You'll see under the vitamin C, the ultra vitamin C serum, okay? Does anybody here use a vitamin C serum? Familiar with C serums? Any thoughts on vitamin C serum in general?
I
No
feel
one?
like it's not for me.
Why?
I tend to think it like clogs my pores.
If that's the case, then you're just not using the right vitamin C serum, because actually it's supposed to help the pores and not clog the pores. Perhaps you're using a vitamin C serum that has other types of fillers or ingredients in it that clog the pores. It's very important that you use a good quality vitamin C
It's
serum.
more of an oil, that's why.
Right, so you don't want a vitamin C oil, you want a vitamin C serum, okay?
Yeah.
Like if you look at page 6, you're gonna see the 20% C serum. That's with ascorbic acid and hyaluronic acid, okay? So it has the ascorbic acid, which is usually pretty well tolerated, and a little bit of hyaluronic acid for the healing and hydrating part, okay? So this is water soluble, it's a stable form of vitamin C, it helps with lines, discoloration, pollution, antioxidant, wound healing, okay? It should not irritate the skin, but for some people with vitamin C, we can start a little bit slower, not necessarily every day, but it brings that glow, it brings that brightness.
But did you say the serum vitamin C is not good for acne skin? Or-
Not- It is okay
It is
for
okay
acne
for- oh, okay.
skin, but you start slow. You
Start
wouldn't put
slow.
on like an ingredient like benzoyl peroxide with salicylic and vitamin C,
Right.
right? That's too much irritation.
Okay.
But there's nothing wrong with vitamin C serum, even for a younger skin, in their 20s, but start slow. That's all, and make sure you get a good quality C serum, makes all the difference in the world. right? We have things like geranium extract and jojoba oil. Don't be afraid of jojoba oil. Jojoba oil in the vitamin C serum is the oil that mimics our natural sebum the closest.
Like it's
So
for
again,
all skin types, someone is saying.
what is?
Jojoba oil.
Yes,
All
it
skin
is the oil that is the most similar to your body's natural sebum or oil. So the body registers it like that. So that is the oil that is most appropriate for an oily or acneic skin. So that's why this C serum is very well tolerated. But again, if you feel super sensitive, try a little patch before you do the
Yeah.
entire face.
And how do you like, as far as when you wanna use retinol and vitamin C, what's the,
What I usually suggest, especially for starters, is the vitamin C during the day, because vitamin C naturally has a little bit of sun protectant. It doesn't replace your sunscreen, but it has a little something, and it's an antioxidant. And your retinol in the evening, okay? So the retinol is great when our skin is repairing itself in the evening in the skin exfoliation, and that helps to unclog the pores and the deep hard sebum in the acne skin or the oily skin, or to help with the fine lines for the aging skin. So C day, retinol night.
Also, retinol will help if you do it more in like at night when you go to sleep, since your body is telling that throughout the night.
That's right,
Better to use retinol.
that's right. But if you're gonna use the retinol, make sure you go slow,
Yeah.
okay? Otherwise.
yeah, my
it's gonna-
question was like, the days that I use the retinol, do I also use the vitamin C in the morning? Or
Yes.
does it- okay.
Yes, but if you notice that you're sensitive, like you said, I would start introducing one at a time for a few days.
Okay.
Because if there's a reaction, I don't know what it's from, right? If I started the same day with my vitamin C serum and my retinol,
You won't know.
I don't know which one it is, and I don't wanna have to give up both of those wonderful products if I don't need to. So I'll start with one for a few days, and okay, seems to be going well, now I'll add the other one,
Okay.
right? That way you can check what's causing the irritation. So again, it may not be vitamin C itself, it might just be the one you're using or how you're using it.
Okay.
That's why it's really important that you use really clean, good product.
Mhm.
You know, there's a difference between a vitamin C like this and one that you would get at Thrifty or Rite Aid for $10. Why would something from Ultralux Vitamin C cost more? Because we're using better quality ingredients. But that makes a difference in the potency and also as well as how well your skin tolerates it. Does that make sense?
If you use a vitamin C and you break out, it means you have allergy?
Not necessarily. It can just mean that maybe you have a reaction, maybe you need to go a little bit slower. But not a true allergy, you're gonna see like hives and itching and welts or
I'm gonna
erythema.
get like a little redness here and like pimple on it.
So I would
And
slow
little
them
itch.
down, you know, it doesn't mean that they can't use vitamin C, but they maybe need to use it a little bit slower. Or they might need to sandwich it like maybe your hyaluronic acid first, then your vitamin C, and then your moisturizer, something to kind of buffer it in between, right? So it's not the first ingredient going on the skin and slowly building up. You know, eventually they'll get the nice glow to the skin if they're willing to go that, you know, extra step and go slow. A lot of clients think more is better, and we're there to educate, it's not necessarily better, right? Right. Any other questions on vitamin C? You'll notice in the vitamin C that we also have a vitamin C eye cream. That's what Sherry was talking about. It is made to go into the orbital bone area, but not super close to the eye, okay? Because you don't want to irritate the
I
eye.
think for like if it's an eye product, then it's okay to be like around the eye.
Right,
But if
so
it's
it's-
not meant for the eye area, then you might not wanna go.
But keep in mind, our vitamin C eye cream does have retinol in it.
Mhm.
So starting a little bit slower if they have a more sensitive skin or a super dry skin, right? Starting a little bit slower, and using a little bit less, or maybe just starting under the eye rather than the entire eye area.
Mhm.
You also see the vitamin C has a mask as well. The vitamin C mask is great for brightening the skin. So if a client you're gonna do a facial on or send them home with, that wants that brightness, it's not oil-free, but it definitely brightens the skin and it's anti-aging.
While you're speaking about masks,
Go ahead.
could we go over the masks with them so they know which mask is best for their client? Like, should I use the berry mask, should I use the blue mask, should I
Okay,
use
so
the
you see the
active
vitamin
mask?
C mask is somebody that's maybe an oilier skin or that's looking for a brightening effect. Maybe you did the vitamin C facial protocol on them, you can use the vitamin C mask. Then we also have things, and you're gonna see on here, it says under discoloration on this sheet, like a green tea mask. That's on the sheet, or the lightning mask. So the green tea mask is interesting because it's an acid-free exfoliating mask. So it doesn't have acid in it, but it does do some exfoliation. And it has an algae extract to like purify. It has kaolin in it to help purify and help with excess sebum. That's the green tea mask. So that's great for an oilier skin, that's great for a thicker skin, or an acneic skin, not necessarily your aged, thin, rosacea skin. Where the lightning mask,
It's down vitamin C.
the lightning mask?
is vitamin C.
Okay, so then we won't go over that because we went over the vitamin C mask, okay? You also have a blue mask. If you look under the sensitive on your notes, the blue mask falls under the sensitive line, okay? It has the blue azulene, and that helps with the irritation. It has the marine elastin, so this is something that helps to soothe and calm. So somebody, maybe you did a lot of extractions, somebody with rosacea, somebody with irritated skin. With the Ultralux masks, you can layer them too, which is kind of nice. Ultralux is made to layer, so the ingredients are made to layer, okay? So you can also, depending upon different areas of the skin, do the different masks. So it's sort of like a customized puzzle, right? Got a lot of irritation in here, I'm gonna use the blue mask. They're super oily and breaking out in comedones, I'll put something more like a green tea mask or a mud mask, right? Because those things have kaolin in it to dry out the impurities and draw them up. Does that make sense? I believe there's another mask, the berry mask. Have any of you smelled that mask? It's wonderful, it smells like a bowl of berries, okay? Do you have that, Joyce? Let's see if she has that. The berry mask is technically under the firming line, okay? So I have it on that little cheap notepad here. The firming berry mask. Let me see where it is.
It's on 30, page
30?
Yes.
No, she's quick with it, right? Because my master book is different.
30.
So you see that that's for a normal to combination skin. So it purifies, it tones, it has the kaolin, it has the chamomile in it. So this is more of a firming for a normal to combination skin, okay? The one for your more sensitive skin is the one that we went over already, which is the blue mask. But you could definitely put a layer of the berry mask, I mean, it smells wonderful. Smell that? It's great stuff. And it reduces irritation. Okay, so that helps to reduce irritation, just like the blue mask does. And it absorbs a little bit with the kaolin, so it's a little bit more drying than the sensitive type of mask, okay?
We also have an active mask,
Okay, so let's talk about
and
active mask.
that mask you could sleep in, which is kind
Joyce likes to sleep in the active mask. That's her
They call
thing.
it
because
red
I
mask.
never, I have lots of time, but I never have time for me. It's like I rather be shopping, or I'm working, or I'm
Active
doing
mask,
something.
guys, page 15, okay? So an active mask is super hydrated. So it's for a dull skin, a dehydrated skin, somebody that needs lots of nourishment. It has oat protein, bitter orange, neroli. These are some of the essential oils that we put in there for medicinal purposes to help with the hydration. But this can be left on as long as they'd like. That's why she sleeps with it on. So you don't have to worry if you're doing a treatment, how long you leave this mask on, or if you've removed it completely. There's no problem with leaving it on, and it gives a nice glow to the skin, okay? So again, that can be for a client with mature skin, dull skin, dehydrated skin. Not my first choice for our oily acneic skin, right? Or the ones with the kaolin that kind of draws up the impurities, that is. Or the blue mask for the sensitive skin, that is, okay? Have you used the active mask, Sharon?
Yes,
What,
I've used for anti-aging.
what did you think?
It's perfect.
Right.
It's absorbing so fast.
Yes.
With the massage or with the cold hammer, it just
Right.
absorbing so fast.
And you can also massage it in as well,
Mm.
because this can be left on. So it can be, it's nice for some people to do something like this as your massage carrier instead of an oil. You can use this.
But if you have someone that has like breakouts, acneic skin, you wanna use one of the mud ones.
Right.
So what if it's like, so it's acneic skin, but what if it's like bacterial, bacterial, fungal, like, you know?
Fungal
like
is something you
bacterial.
need a prescription.
Okay.
Fungal acne requires an antifungal cream from the derm.
Oh, okay.
That's out of your scope, and if you are able to recognize fungal,
Mhm.
you send them out,
Okay.
okay? Doesn't
And what
mean,
could cause like a fungal?
that's a fungus, so either the barrier is compromised or something that they've,
Could it be like sweat and stuff like that?
Is it
that may
common?
cause it?
To have fungal?
it's not common to
Okay.
see the fungal acne,
Okay.
and it's not usually,
Does it look
from
like
sweat,
acneic or?
but it looks, you'd have to look it up to see, it looks a little bit different, look up
Okay.
fungal acne, you're not gonna see it too much, and it'll take you a
Okay.
while to recognize that, doesn't mean you can't do a facial on them, but usually if it's fungal and you're sure, you don't wanna extract those,
Correct.
Yeah.
okay? But that's a little bit harder to recognize, I don't expect you to recognize it at first, I think I've seen it twice in my 20 years, that's it.
Mm.
So it's not something you see very often, have you seen that, the fungal acne? It's
No.
actually a fungal infection,
Mhm.
okay? So that's
It
completely
looks like a
different.
white test, right?
Yes, and it looks, almost round, some of them, like I've seen a ringworm, roundworm on the skin, it looks different. Did you pull up a picture? But you can, so that's a little bit different, but for acne, you want the ones that help to kill the bacteria. Just like we have, if you look under the clear line, we have something called drying potion. Okay? On here, under clear, or if you look up clear line, drying potion, which you girls will probably like very much. The drying potion is a sulfur-based potion, okay? So it's sulfur. It's a Dead Sea sulfur.
Which one are we looking at?
The drying potion, page 20. You see that? That drying potion, page 20. That's a leave-on little treatment. You gotta keep the lid tight or you'll dry it out. You can reconstitute it with a little water or a little alcohol, because it does have some of that in it. And because it's a Dead Sea sulfur and lavender and chamomile. So the lavender and chamomile is to calm and soothe, and the Dead Sea sulfur is to draw out the impurities and kill the bacteria.
Is it like a spot treatment?
Spot treatment.
You put it on at night,
Right.
and in the morning, it's amazing, it'll
Right.
like dry up
Right.
your
Right.
pimple.
Right, that's a
Your acne.
wonderful addition for them to use at home. Not necessarily a wonderful addition in the facial, because they'll go home with little pink dots on their face,
Like,
right? But then you can sell it to them and say, tonight at home, go ahead and apply that.
Sometimes you can do it under the mask, right?
You can, to help kind of dry up the impurities on there, yes. Remember, like Sherry's doing, the Ultralux products are made to layer, so that's
Right.
perfectly fine, you know, absolutely. And you will come up with your own little combinations. The more you understand the ingredients in the products and the different uses, the better you'll be able to customize your facials. If you don't wanna customize, that's no problem, because we have protocols for all the different facials for you, okay? Which makes it easier as a new esthetician to know what to do. But if you're more seasoned, you start to kind of mix and match
Right.
which you like to use. But this one kind of reminds me, have you heard of the Mario Badescu drying potion? Right, but it's not, I find that it dries things out faster without being as irritating.
Yeah, that one didn't work on me.
This was originally made for Britney Spears.
Back
Do
in the
you
day.
guys remember when she shaved, she went a little crazy and shaved her head and everything?
Yes.
Okay, it was, right before then, it was made specifically for her. That's how we came up with the drying potion.
Right. Okay, let me see a couple other things.
To the left and straight.
I don't see it on our cheat notes, but I wanna go over hyaluronic acid ingredient. Okay? It's an important ingredient, it's all, you know, and everything latest and greatest now, but it is one of the greatest ingredients that they've come up with. The hyaluronic acid, although the word acid is a little deceptive, right? People think I'm gonna peel, it's an acid, is it gonna irritate me? No. Hyaluronic acid is found in our body naturally. It's found in our skin, it's found in our joints, but 50% of the hyaluronic acid in our body is in our skin. Has everybody used something with hyaluronic acid before? It's very well tolerated by most skin types. It's a great hydrator, meaning it pulls moisture to it, even for an acneic skin, because just because we have acne doesn't mean we don't need hydration. Means we don't necessarily need more oil, but we need more hydration. So hyaluronic acid helps to soften, it promotes collagen, it promotes elastin, and it attracts 1,000 times its weight in water. So when you use a hyaluronic acid, you want to put it on a damp skin. Usually, we're going to use our toner, which is going to put the pH balance in our skin first. That's what it's there for, right? Toner is not there to remove makeup or debris. It's there to put the pH balance in our skin. So our toners have different essential oils in them based on the skin needs, but they all have like Dead Sea salts to kill bacteria, and they're all pH balanced. Then you would put the hyaluronic acid over the damp skin. Then you still need to put your moisturizer over it. If you don't put a moisturizer over your hyaluronic acid, it will do the opposite and dry out your skin.
That
Why?
happened to me.
Do you know why that happened? Take a guess. Why would that happen?
It's too much. It's,
Good try.
I mean,
Any-
it,
Why would
Pulling
it,
out all their moisture.
what was it?
Does it pull out all of your moisture?
Well, it attracts the moisture
Attracts
to
the
it.
moisture,
So
mhm.
as the hyaluronic acid descends into the epidermis, it's like, give me moisture, give me. So any moisture you
Oh.
have on the surface, it's bringing it with it.
And so
Right.
it dries it out.
If you don't put moisturizer over it, it's gonna pull whatever moisture you have
You
on the
have
surface.
Right.
But if you put moisturizer over it, it's
Pull
gonna
it in.
hold that moisture deep into the underlying tissue, plump up the tissue, so it looks like less fine lines, less wrinkles, and hydrated skin. Perfect combination,
Is
right?
it to put on your lips too?
yeah, that's what
Yes.
I was gonna
Mhm.
say. I
Yeah.
love putting it on my lips.
Just
And then put on
Lip
moisture.
balm.
Yes, and with your lip balm. Why? Because you put your hydration
Mhm.
or your oil. So remember, for back bar and clients, if you use or you sell them the hyaluronic acid, you must use some kind of hydration over it. Ultralux, it's nice, they have 2 hyaluronic acids, one for home use and one also for back bar. The back bar hyaluronic acid is pretty pure. We don't have any preservatives in it, which is wonderful if you're gonna use it for your nano needling or anything of a treatment in the back bar, because it's super pure and clean, but it only has like a 6-month shelf life. So you need to keep it maybe in a fridge or in a cool place, but it's great stuff. And then the hyaluronic acid for home, clients are absolutely going to love it. Okay, it really holds the moisture to the skin, and if you layer it even for an acneic skin, you can put on a hydrator that's oil-free, and still, they're gonna have the moisture they need with the hyaluronic acid, with the moisturizer that's oil-free on top. Like we make a Hydrosoft lotion, that's on page 20. That's for, in the clear line, pH balanced, great for an oily skin. Oily skin still needs the hydration, okay? Because if it has no hydration and you dry out the oily or acneic skin, the skin is gonna actually try to overcompensate and make it oilier.
So hyaluronic acid first, and then
Then your
a free oil.
moisturizer,
Okay,
right.
oil-free.
Or if it's a drier skin, your nice rich moisturizers, right? Cheryl, we're talking about the hyaluronic acid. Have you
But it-
used it?
Yes.
Must
back
be
bar or
used
the other
on
one?
damp
The other
skin.
one.
Yeah.
The
That's
back bar
really
one, by the
important.
way, is incredible for your microneedling or nanoneedling, because it has no preservatives and it has
Right.
almost no other ingredients in it. It's pure, but it's only
I
good
have
for
it from
6
other
months.
company, I just wanna finish it, yeah.
I love it, by the
Yeah.
way, because we here estheticians at Ultralux, we got to put a little input on making that product. Okay, which makes a big difference, and we got to test it out ourselves on our clients, and the owner was willing to listen to some of our feedback. So I promise you, that's one of the best hyaluronic acid back bars you'll ever use. And I don't say, you know, I only say how I feel from my heart, and it's true. That's one of the best ones you'll ever use, okay? So keep it in mind. Okay, let me see what else. I'm gonna go over some of the eye creams, because there's quite a few eye creams, so how do we know which eye cream to use, right? Some of them will have some of the same ingredients and different things in them based on kind of what skin type you're working with, okay? I have it written down, but you know, we can find them also, okay, in our book. We spoke a little bit about the C eye cream, right? So the C eye cream does have retinol, it does have the 20% ascorbic acid in it, and it helps to kind of lighten under eye circles and bring a glow to the skin, okay? Then we also have something called the rejuvenating eye cream. Joyce, where would I find that? Do you know, in their little book? The rejuvenating eye cream, I'm gonna find it for you here.
Is it under the acid?
Here it is. It's in the anti-aging line, page 16. Or what was called the firming line, right?
It's
The
not firming now.
Okay, it's firming now. Used to be anti-aging, now it's firming. You see it at the top, anti-aging rejuvenating eye cream? That does have retinol in it, okay, but it's made for the eye area. It does have some vitamin C. It also has the safflower oil in it, so for soothing and hydrating. It does have some of that apple fruit stem cells in it. So it has that, slowing of the aging process effect of the fruit stem cells in it. And it does have cucumber in it as well. And we all love the cucumbers around the eyes, right? So that's the rejuvenating, anti-aging eye cream. Good stuff. The other eye cream, if you look at the bottom of the page, is the Visual Lift eye cream. Joyce, I believe she loves this one, right?
It's our most intense
Which
eye
one?
cream.
Visual
The
Lift.
Visual Lift, so this is
Visual.
more of a firming eye cream. It has shea butter. It has
Hydrating.
peptides. Okay, so we know that what are peptides? They are the amino acid, they are the building blocks to our collagen and elastin. That's what peptides are. So it has the peptides in the Visual Lift. And it has something called tri-matrix complex, okay, which is there to help produce collagen and create the new fresh cells to firm the skin, to tighten the skin, and it's a little bit less irritating than just pure retinol. So that Visual Lift is pretty well tolerated by
Right.
people. Are you noticing
I
that?
use it because for some people, they already have a wrinkle around the eye,
Mhm.
it just make it
Right,
better, yeah.
and it has ceramides. What are ceramides? That's the lipids part of our barrier, right? So it creates a real nice lipid barrier around the eyes. You're going to see between the two is the microvenom eye lift. So this one has that synthetic snake venom to send those little messages to slow down with creating the thing we love the most, which is the fine lines and wrinkles around our eyes, right? It also has that stem cell technology as well. So it depends on the need of the client will
Right.
decide which one of these you would go with. All are great, but each one is a little bit different. There's also the Bright Eyes, which I love. That's on page 17
love.
at the top, okay? I like to keep something like this in the fridge, or in my back bar fridge, or at home in the fridge, and it creates this lovely cooling effect, and it really helps to brighten and depuff. So those of us with the really puffy eyes in the morning, it also has the aloe vera in it, and the coenzyme 10. So that's great stuff.
But
dark
you
circle,
need to
right?
use an eye cream with it.
This is not hydrating like the other eye creams are.
Oxygen or
Right.
Visual Lift, those are
Okay.
hydrate, but if you're using the Bright Eyes, it definitely
You have
works
to add it.
underneath the eye for puffiness and bags and
Or
dark
dark circles.
circles.
Right, the
Yes.
oxygen is
But-
one of the best to apply. It's
But you need
with
to
it.
put eye
Yes.
cream over it.
That's right.
I think
Another eye
ox-
cream?
You're gonna put your Bright Eyes underneath,
Oh,
and
I
then
thought
you're
that was
gonna
an eye
use your
cream.
Visual Lift or your Oxygen or
That's
one of your
right.
other eye
Oh, I
creams
see, I see.
over it,
Right.
because it's not,
Let's
meant to be
consider our bright
hydrating.
eyes like our treatment, if it was our
treatment,
skin,
right.
or like our serum if it was our skin, and then the others like our
but it's
moisturizer, right?
fabulous.
Right.
It's-
Right, but it's great for like really like depuffing under the eyes, which we all kind of.
Or dark
For like
circle.
little dark, like right here.
That's right.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's,
Okay.
Just be consistent and ask clients to try things for a few months before they make any judgment, right? Nothing's working the first day or the first week under the eyes. They have to be
for
consistent,
the
right?
younger client, you might wanna use the Oxygen, it's a lighter eye cream,
Right,
rather than the Visual Lift. The Visual Lift is our most intense, it's wonderful, especially for your aging client,
right,
and it's preventative as well.
right. So the oxygen really helps, that's the eye cream underneath, to kind of bring circulation under the eyes. And we know that oxygen in our blood also hydrates our skin. So that's a little bit lighter of an eye cream, but great for plumping up the cells, so they're great layered together. The
It's
other
re-
one is called Fresh Eyes. This is a little different than the others, because this can remove makeup as well as to help the lashes become thicker and grow.
Which one?
That is the Fresh Eyes. See it at the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
This you don't wanna use on a false lash, cause it'll loosen the glue. Okay, so that's super important. You don't wanna use it on a false lash, because they'll be upset, because then their lashes will start falling off. But it actually has weak germ oil in it, and it replenishes the moisture. It has lavender oil in it, so this actually acts as a hydrator and something to grow the lashes, but it can remove the makeup. So back bar,
Okay.
if you use the Fresh Eyes, you can use that to remove their makeup.
So Jenny, you don't wanna use that when you put false eyelashes
Yeah.
on your clients, but maybe you do, they'll come back much
But it's
more
very good
often.
for remove the eyeshadow or
Yes, it
something, we
removes
have
the
it.
eye makeup wonderfully. And tell them it's also a treatment. So that's nice. So if they have a little residual left on their lashes, fine, great, wonderful, because it helps to hydrate the lashes. Any questions on the eye creams, because I know we have quite a few of them there. Any thoughts? Or on hyaluronic acid, any thoughts? Keep in mind with hyaluronic acid, it is really rare to have a bad reaction, so it's a pretty safe thing to send them home with, and it's a pretty safe thing to use in
Yeah.
your back bar, and it's just wonderful at drawing in the other products to it.
And have your clients, you know, even though if you have young clients and they don't have any lines or, eye cream is so important because that's the first place you're gonna see your aging,
Right,
is in your eyes, so start young.
that's right, that's right. We have something that Sherry was talking about that's kind of unique, so I wanna go over it, and that's the woman's ingrown hair. Let me see where it is in your book, okay? And it's kinda cool. Here it is, page 34. We have a men's ingrown hair, and we have the ladies' ingrown hair and razor bump treatments. If you as an esthetician are gonna be doing waxing, this is a great thing to send them home with and to use after your wax, okay? So it has things in it like salicylic acid. What is salicylic acid? Kills bacteria, right? It has lavender oil to hydrate the skin. And it has something called Simplex 8.4%. And these are humectants and brighteners, helps with uneven skin in the bikini area. The salicylic helps to exfoliate the dead skin cells so we don't get as many ingrown hairs after we wax. So this is something that you would send them home with to use in between the waxing so that the area kind of stays bright, even toned, and without bumps and irritation. They'll love you. They'll be like, oh, I went to Jenny for my wax, and every time I do my bikini with her, I don't get all these ingrown hairs or all of these bumps. And that's because you're gonna send them home with something like the ingrown hair and razor bump.
But it's not enough to do it after,
No.
they have to have it.
You really wanna send them home just once after. It's not enough if a person really is prone to ingrown hairs or bumps.
Okay.
But, it's a product that they're not gonna return. They're gonna love it. This is something
So
Um,
if they were
that's a great-
if they were to wax, and then
with you mean?
yeah, let's say
Uh-huh.
say they get a bikini wax,
Right.
and they go home and apply it right away, or they need it within
You
24
could, no,
hours.
you can put some on there in
Okay.
your treatment room, and then you can have them apply it a few times a week in between, right? Cause it has the salicylic acid in it. And some people are just more prone to ingrown hairs and razor bumps, especially a darker Fitzpatrick, right? They tend to just have that, so it helps even out the skin tone as well. So that's kinda nice to have something like that at home, because I know I've had wax before, and I've gotten little bumps and irritation, and then I'm like, oh, why do I wanna keep doing this? I like the look of the wax, but I don't like how my skin looks now. So that helps to kind of staff off that problem. We even have one for men, if you're doing men's waxing too, you can use that. And you've only used it just after your waxing, right? So you definitely, it's something that, for them to go home with, makes a big difference. And it doesn't cause any irritation, and it's soothing and cooling. So that's a nice thing, for them to have at home. Another thing that's kind of unique to Ultralux and the ingredients on page 35 is the Microvenom Neck and Décolleté Cream. So this neck and décolleté cream has even more of that microvenom, anti-wrinkle, stem cell technology than the other products. Okay, so it's even more potent, and it's made for the neck and décolleté. This is where our skin is the most fragile, thin, and we age the fastest, is here. When we
Right.
look at someone to see their age, you can look here. That's where you're usually gonna see it. So this has sunscreen in it. It has that stem cells from the apples and the snake venom. So this is a wonderful thing to either use in your facial as well as send them home with a neck and décolleté
So you can
cream.
use it in your face.
Not for the face, right.
A
For the
little
neck-
thick,
What is it?
a little thick than like moisturizer,
Thicker.
thicker.
Yeah, it's not the same type of moisture, like, you have the Ultralux 9. This is the thing that you would put on the face. This one is like the star of the show for Ultralux. Let me find it here for you. Ultralux 9 is a treatment. Have you used that, Sherry?
Yes,
What do you think?
I love it.
Is there something you don't love? We're happy to love them all. No, don't tell me I don't want to, I'm kidding. So the Ultralux 9, here it is, okay, page 12. This has what we were talking about, that synthetic snake venom in it for the face. So this acts like Botox in a bottle. Whether you use it in your facial or you send them home with it, you're gonna put this on more like an eraser. So if I'm gonna work in here, I'm gonna erase it in here, erase it in here, erase it in here.
So like
Okay.
a friction motion?
Yes, okay. So the Ultralux 9 is something that can be used in the back bar, in the Ultralux 9 facial, or at home, or both preferably. And it acts as the messenger to slow down the expression lines. So people that use Botox or that don't will often see they need less Botox from consistently using this product. This is your treatment. You still can use your moisturizer, okay? Not necessarily just this. Yes, Joyce?
Yeah, no, you use a moisturizer
Oh,
over.
okay.
But I gotta tell you, I've been
What do you
using
think?
it religiously, right here.
Just one?
No, I
okay.
use it here,
Okay.
and I use it here in the forehead
What do you
and the eyes.
And what do you think?
But I had, it's much better, like a hole here,
Oh, you did.
with wrinkles.
Interesting. Really?
Look, it looks better. I want you to see it.
See how it says applies muscle immobilizing results?
Right in here.
Oh, yeah. They're not as deep. And how long did it take for you to notice?
It took probably a month, honestly.
You see, that's why with
But-
most products, I say give them 3 months before
It
you
wasn't
judge.
magic.
Because you
I
gotta give
promise you
things a
that.
So yeah,
chance.
for you
Overnight.
kind of have to be
But
consistent if you
every
want to see
morning
results.
I use
Yeah.
it. Every morning
Exactly.
I erase it in, and after a month, I definitely saw a difference. It was like really noticeable to me. I went, I suddenly woke up with it one day.
What's nice is that it's kind of lightweight, it doesn't feel heavy, and there's 2 formulas. There's, interestingly, we actually have one for oily skin too. Okay, so for those that have oily skin that are still need something for anti-aging, the Ultralux 9 OC helps to absorb the oil as well as helps with the fine lines and the wrinkles and reversing the aging process. So that's the one when you said like, oh, could I use it on my face? This would be the one for the face, where the other one is for the neck and the décolleté. On the same kind of area, if you look at page 13, we have a product that is one of our favorite, so I wanna talk about it a little, which is the BB oil. Do we have that ready, Joyce, by any chance? No, maybe we do.
I think I have a
The
sample.
BB oil is like a high-performance luxury oil, okay? I don't, have any of you touched it besides Sherry? Has anybody used the BB
Yeah,
oil?
I got the sample.
What did you think?
I love it.
It has cranberry seed, it has linseed oil, it protects from oxidative stress, and it works down at the cellular level. So it goes a little bit deeper than maybe like our omega oils, which are different essential fatty acids that help to hydrate the skin. This one can be used on an oilier or acneic skin, just using a small amount of the oil. And it kind of is light diffusing, so it kind of blurs some of the lines. You can put your makeup over it, which
I
is
did
kind of nice.
use it over makeup when I tried it, and it made my makeup more bright and more.
Yes,
That's what
and it
I
gives a
do.
glow.
I use it every morning, and then You know how you guys glow all day long?
Yeah.
I put it on
What'd you
over
say?
my
There's
makeup.
Renovage French ingredient.
Oh, it has Renovage, yes, so this is where we talk about the, active ingredient at the cellular level, so it actually helps to make new skin cells at the cellular level. So not only does it help with the glow, it's also an anti-aging product as well, and a soothing product. So you have a lot of different skin types that you can use the BB oil on.
Helps your
Lots.
new cells come out fresh and clean.
That's right.
Which is important. You want your new cells to be
How
healthy.
do you use it, Cherry?
I use it as a massage oil.
Exactly, you
Yeah.
can.
The
You
BB
can
oil?
use
Under
Uh-huh.
the mask, yeah.
Oh, with
As
the
a
mask.
massage
Yeah,
Under
carrier.
the mask.
okay.
Mhm.
You put
Right.
the mask over it.
Yeah.
Right, because we also have the omega oils, which are a little different. Each one is in the different skincare lines, and the difference in them, of course, is the essential oils used. But if you look at the omega oils, that's omega-3 fatty acid 3 and 6. So this is great at hydrating the skin, and the one even for the clear line balances out the skin. The one in the sensitive line has the chamomile to soothe the skin. It's great for wind chapped skin, for really, really dry, dehydrated, irritated, even on the back of the
Would
hands.
you be able to apply it to like your lips maybe?
You could,
What's amazing
Absolutely.
about it is
Just like a BB oil?
absolutely.
it's very smart.
That's for the BB oil?
It
No,
knows,
that's the omega oils.
Oh, the
See, like
omega
if you
oils.
look at page 20, omega oils.
the omega
What
oil
page?
knows
20.
to balance your skin. If it's too oily,
Right.
it'll,
Depending upon the active essential oils that we put in, which decides
It
whether
all
it's the
does.
clear line, whether it's the sensitive line, that will change sort of what the product does, right? The base active ingredients are there, but the essential oils that we use change, whether it's to calm the skin,
right.
whether it's to balance the oil, whether it's to add hydration. So you'll notice that some of the products cross over into the different skin types, but the essential oils change. You have an essential oil little guide I saw somewhere in
It's
here.
behind their.
Okay, that she gave you, and that kind of tells you for what skin types.
What
Okay.
each one does and why it's in the product that it's in. You'll very often see the
Right.
same product in clear,
That's
in
right.
maintenance, in discolor. Why do you have this product listed,
Right.
the same product? It is the same product. It just
Right.
has different essential oils which have medicinal purposes that
Right.
help you. But
In
it's the
this-
same product overall.
In this little cheat sheet notes, we'll call it, if you look under the clear, you're gonna see something called mud lavender wash. That wash is best for your oily or acneic skin. Why? It has the Dead Sea mud and the sulfur. What does mud and sulfur do? Draws out impurities and excess oils, right? So that's the mud lavender wash, that's in the clear line. They also have in that line the Hydrosoft lotion clear. So again, it's with the hydration, without the oils, but it still gives the hydration. And it has things like, what does it have? Let me look. The hydration for the clear line should have things that are antiseptic in it, definitely. And what else does it have?
Tea tree oil.
Tea tree oil, right, so the essential
Lavender,
oils are changing,
lavender to
right?
calm.
Where I won't have the tea tree oil in the lotion if it's in the sensitive line. Does that make sense? Okay, there's also something here called Deep Pore Clarifying Serum. The Deep Pore Clarifying Serum has lactic and sal in it. So those two active ingredients, lactic acid for skin cell renewal, for exfoliation, and the sal, what does that do? That's the best for killing bacteria and decongest the skin. That is in the Deep Pore Clarifying Serum. The Pore Minimizer is wonderful for somebody who's an oily or acneic skin that wants to put even their makeup on, kind of gives that refined finish. Instead of purchasing like a pore refining serum from some of these makeup lines that clog the pores and can irritate the skin, this pore minimizer really helps to regulate the oil production and make the appearance of a smaller pore. So when you put your makeup on, it just looks smoother in general.
This one we can use it when we do facial. Some people they have open pores
At the end,
at the end. Like,
towards the end, you're gonna layer something like this on so that the pores look more refined.
Because I have it from other company, they just use it as exfoliate and minimize the pores.
But this one, can help minimize the pores, but not necessarily exfoliant,
Okay.
okay? So it gives a nice finish to the pores, and it has the antioxidants in it, and it regulates the oil production. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. If you go down to the sensitive, which I have here, the sensitive, you're gonna see the bergamot wash. The bergamot wash has bergamot and tangerine. These are the kind of ingredients to help calm the skin, to help calm any kind of irritation. These are for our most sensitive clients. But something like a soya wash is better for like a rosacea or healing, or send them home with the soya wash,
Which one?
the soya. You see that on my cheat sheet here under sensitive? You'll see it under the sensitive, the soya wash. This is great if you're doing peels and they're sensitive. If you're doing a series of microneedling or nanoneedling or lasers, anything like this. It has rose water in it. Also for clients that say, I can't really handle much any cleanser, my skin gets irritated, it gets dry, or they have a compromised barrier, the soya wash is the one to go to. Okay, it's just super gentle. That's where they have the blue mask, that's the one with the blue azuline for your clients with the more sensitive skin. And we already spoke about the recovery, right? That's great stuff. There's something called seaweed liposome gel. In here it says it's in the maintenance line, but we have it again, it's one of those products that goes across all the lines and the essential oils change. The seaweed liposome gel is kind of a cool product because it's thin, it has seaweed in it, B5, C, E, so it also helps to expedite your other products into the underlying tissue. If you put the seaweed liposome gel and then you layer it with your other products, it makes them time released and it helps to drive them deeper into the epidermis. And it's thin, it doesn't feel real heavy on the skin at all. So it's kind of calming and it's kind of firming, as well as it helps to draw your other products like a carrier into the epidermis.
I have a
Yes,
question
yes.
about some people, they just have like pre-cancer on the skin.
We're talking about like AKs, actinic keratosis, like you're seeing precancerous spots, dry, flaky
Right,
little areas, okay?
We can use the bergamot wash, because I used this one for one of my clients.
Mhm.
She's okay, she said, oh, this is, the sensitive line is good for me.
It's fine,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, it's not gonna disturb or do anything to those actinic keratosis that she has on the skin.
Right.
But of course, you wanna suggest to her to have them taken off or looked at, right?
Right.
But those precancerous lesions, most don't turn into cancer, although they could. But you don't want her to try to scrub off the dead skin cells around that lesion.
Right. So
She
you
could
just
use-
check with the doctor.
That's
and then,
right,
yeah,
but
it
she
was
can use the bergamot or the soya, right, just to be gentle and get a nice clean without irritating those areas.
Right.
Yes, does that make sense? Okay. Let me see if there's a couple other things that I might wanna go through. Is there any questions so far for me?
I just have a question about
Yes.
Ultralux and Ultralux 9.
Okay.
You just said dose is different, right?
There's
9
two.
OC?
Right, 9OC is for
For
an
oily skin.
oilier skin type, so it actually
Oh.
has something in there to regulate the the production and reduce the sebaceous activity.
Okay.
Okay, so it does have that in there, so that's a little different. The 9C is great for a client that is more oily, but you still want to give them that anti-aging.
Over the face, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But which one for the body you can use that, like the neck or something?
But then we also have, if you remember, the body line too. We have a body line that can be used on the body. The neck and décolleté is in this area. The hand, of course, is in this area, but then we also have the body moisturizer with the microvenom in it.
And also I have a question about
Sure.
the youth cream.
Which one? The U. What page? Tell me what page.
I don't know, I just buy it, I don't know, I'm gonna use it, but. So let me ask you.
I thought I saw it. Hold on, you are, tell me what page you're
Maybe I'm
talking about.
aging, huh?
Let me see.
Christine,
Hold on.
also like for our new hyaluronic acid is not in there either.
Yeah, but that's okay, I went over it.
Oh, cool.
That one I just did because We love it so much, and that's like our latest and greatest, so we definitely went over the hyaluronic acid. Don't forget, it's one of the best for your back bar, as far as hyaluronic acid. Where is the youth?
I couldn't find it.
Hold on, that's a cellular patch. Hold on, Sherry, it's gotta be here. There it is, okay, page 15. That's in the anti-aging line, if you see that. So it has the macadamia nut oil, the rosehip, and the apricot. So it helps to aid in hydration, and it's an antioxidant with vitamin E.
Okay.
So it's a hydrator, it plumps the skin, and it does help with the fine lines and to fight environmental damage. Does that make sense?
But if
So
some
it's-
people, they just have like a here jawline, they're just like getting like a little, like aging.
Saggy,
Yeah,
I would go
This one
Ultralux 9, then Youth on top.
okay.
You see that, that would be your best combination.
Okay.
And then somebody like that could use their retinol at night. And,
Okay.
you know, so that's a great way to layer, because we get this kind of sagging jowl look, right? So the Youth, has that macadamia nut oil in it, which is great for hydrating the skin, right? And we know that dry skin ages twice as fast as oily skin, so we wanna keep that skin as hydrated, especially in the underlying tissue. That's why we wanna make sure we use a hyaluronic acid as we possibly can, okay? To slow down that aging process.
Yeah.
Any other product questions for me? Anything in particular, or ingredient you have a question about?
Is there anything that was not answered for you
Right.
that's on your mind?
Right, anything at all. That's what I'm here for.
What should I use for? I have a client. I'm afraid if I go in, when I become an esthetician, I might run into something and I'm not sure what to do.
People, they just,
So those couple of products that we talked about can definitely help. They're at home, as well as the retinol, as well as the correction complexion,
right.
and their sunscreen. And remember that when it comes to pigmentation, it takes time.
It's just like a little like a pigmentation with like a skin tag on it. Those are just like very, I have a picture.
Sure,
of
let's see,
yeah.
sure. Let's see what she's talking about.
You guys, meanwhile,
And then also
Get
remember with the
refreshments.
pigmentation, your monthly peels, this person needs
Well,
a
well,
monthly
we're
peel.
They're not doing it, and then
That's
Fruit,
the
something,
thing
come
they're
on.
missing there, Sherry, right? They're not
Yeah.
willing to do their peel.
have a
What
little.
cream or sunscreen,
Okay.
but they just.
If the client is not willing to do sunscreen, you are not going to be able to
They
help
do
them
it a
with
little
pigment.
bit like that on all face.
Why? Does she feel like it's too heavy? It's
Make it
too-
work, come on.
Save money, but then yet she's gonna have the pigment. Melasma.
I got you extra cups for popcorn if you want cups
Asian?
for popcorn.
No.
Take fruit, fruit's good for you. It'll help your complexion.
What
It's healthy. Here.
Where do you see skin tag?
Want
It
that?
was the,
Oh, no, that's it, thank you.
You sure?
yes.
Okay,
It's one
take
of
a
the
look
dark
at this client. This is melasma. This can be genetic. This can be hormone imbalance. This can be birth control. This can be from a pregnancy. This can be something
ones. So
isn't
like around
right.
the lip also.
Uh-huh. So this client with the melasma around the lips and on the cheeks needs to be doing the peels.
Which lip?
It's up
Green
to you,
tea
the
or-
green tea leveled up or the glycolic peel every month. If this client doesn't wear sunscreen and enough coverage, any work you do, it's just gonna come right back up. Melasma is the hardest thing to treat and it's deep. So she can be doing the peels on her and the correction complexion. And this person needs the sunscreen even when it's raining, or everything you've done is just gonna
Everyone
come
does.
right back up.
Yeah, they just do like hiking, bicycle without sunscreen or something.
So the truth
doesn't
is, when you
work.
have a client like that, you're gonna try, you're gonna recommend, but you're also gonna be reasonable and not feel that you've done something wrong or haven't helped them because they're not doing their home care. The home care is half of it. If she's not doing it, Sherry, you're not gonna get anywhere
I
with her.
know.
Trying the best you can to explain to her, and do you know when it came up? Was it during pregnancy? Do we know what happened there?
No, she doesn't have pregnancy.
Did she during pregnancy? When I was pregnant, I got one spot of melasma on my face. By keeping very regimented with my product and sunscreen, it's gone. If you don't, it's staying.
And this
Uh,
one also.
Okay.
She just takes it off, but she started using retinol. She's getting better.
So the retinol is helping her. You see how it's a little pink, so she has to go slow. But the retinol is gonna help her with the pigmentation, but together with your peels, together with the at-home retinol,
And she used some serum from dark spots also.
do we know what it is?
She said get more.
Okay. And the sunscreen, so she's gonna use your retinol, that serum, once a month peels and sunscreen.
Right.
And slowly, slowly, that is the hardest thing to treat, so you have to set their expectations reasonable, okay? Unless she went and had a laser resurfacing or a very deep peel
Laser
at
is
the
good.
doctor. It can, for some people, it can do the rebound and cause more pigment
Yeah,
later.
she just very like.
The lighter you
straight to
are,
do
or
it.
the deeper the pigment, the better the result of the laser.
Yeah, she
The
have
darker
like
you are.
the nose and ear.
Right, so hers isn't too bad, you can probably do something in this case, right? And you wanna make sure that, you don't cause too much inflammation there, cause you don't wanna cause any more pigmentation.
Right.
So, hyperpigmentation is different than melasma, right? We can get hyperpigmentation from a pimple or something like that. Melasma is mostly systemic.
I think this is hormone.
Mhm. So you wanna ask your clients with melasma to have their hormones checked. Make sure that everything is balanced. A lot of times I see it genetically in the family. And I see it a lot on Asian or Hispanic skin. And that's the hardest to treat because they have so much melanin, melanocyte cells.
Right.
If she doesn't put enough sunscreen, she's
know.
just spinning her wheels and so are you. But you don't wanna lose her, do the best you can.
And home products, she has to keep it up.
Somebody like
With
that
all
has to
of
keep
you
it up.
guys, when you have a client come in
Yes.
and they need a facial or they need whatever, and they come in once a month, you don't wanna start at square one every month.
Right.
You need them to take care of their skin at
Yes.
home. They need the home product.
Right, just their once a month facial is not gonna be enough for the results they're looking for or you're looking for. So, doing your add-on, which is where your money is your at-home products, believe it or not, that's where your money is.
You make more of
Together
that than facials.
with your facial is really gonna bring the results to the table, okay? Any other questions for me on did that help?
Yeah.
Was there some education there that helped you? Okay, good. And we're always available, for questions.
So the
Yeah.
skin is a little too pink, that means they're going fast on the retinol, and then you know, slow
It's
down.
normal to have a little bit of pinkness from retinol, but if it looks too red or irritated, slow them down. Okay, slow them down, absolutely. And we can touch a few of the products if you'd like. If anybody wants to touch or smell anything that we went over, I'll step over there and I'll pass a couple things around.
Actually, our next class is gonna be on different facials for different skin types, and we will do demonstration as well on facials. And
Of course,
if
let me show a few
anyone's
things,
interested
okay?
at this point,
When is that?
I wanna show a few
June
things.
6th, and you could pre-register now if you're interested. It'll be a good class, where she'll actually demonstrate.
Yeah.
And we'll probably do a couple facials, so if you guys wanna participate in one in particular, you could do that, cause you could get the results of it and then see the next facial.
What time is gonna be?